There are thousands of people around the Mount Albert suburbs who don't know Christ. Most of them are really suspicious about churches and Christians in general. Tends to be that whenever they hear about churches, they hear that churches are speaking out about different groups of people or different groups of activities. They see Christians as a weird sort of person that does these rather odd practices. Now, Scripture is pretty clear that one of the reasons that we are even here on this planet is to live the gospel and to talk the gospel. So what does it mean for us? It means that we need to work really hard at building trust, that we need to be working with our community leaders and assisting in the positive development of the community. We need to get engaged in practical and loving projects around the place, winning people's trust through engaging in issues that concern people all around Mount Albert suburbs. We need to see ourselves as local missionaries. That means we need to be intentional about what we do, intentional to be with people across the street, in their workplace, in their schools, on the sports field, in the shopping mall. We need to move out of our safe zones and actually show practical care and take the risk to engage in conversation with people about the grace of God. Now, for some of us, that will actually mean that we need to cut back on the amount of time that we have in church activities to ensure that we're not so busy maintaining church programs that we don't have time for non-Christian people or time to fulfill our responsibility as civilians and citizens in society. It will mean that we need to be intentional about building relationships. Now, by that I'm not talking about that kind of bait and switch approach where we just pretend to be friends. Now, I'm talking about building genuine relationships, the type of relationship that God desires to have with people. We need to get to know people, our neighbours, our workmates, those down at the sports club, and actually have them in our homes, going out with them, doing things that friends do together, because people matter to God, therefore people need to matter to us too. As I think about that, we need to emphasize process over program. Now, we have a bunch of good programs here at the church, but the linkage from one to the other just sometimes is too big for people to jump through. We need to provide helpful levels for people where they can connect in relationships and where they can hear the relevance of Christianity and engage with the gospel and the claims of Christ. We need to provide safe places for non-Christian people to explore what Christianity is all about, where they can read the Gospels, where they can ask any question. In fact, no question is off limits in these safe places. Mount Albert Baptist also has this huge heart for global mission, and we need to continue for that to happen. We need for our missionaries to feel that they're still part of our faith family. They're going to thrive on good support and on prayer and on encouragement. They're our ambassadors, and they're extending the mission beyond our geographical limitations. And so we dream. And we dream of being a missional church that influences our neighbourhood and our world. Imagine what that might look like.